Hey y'all, welcome to episode 21 of the Stay at Home Sim podcast on this happy Easter Sunday. Today we are going to be reviewing one of our good friends of the podcast, and he's also featuring another one of our good friends on the podcast. And they made this amazing short film called Playful Planet, and it has a lot going on, and it's definitely a very interesting film, and I think a lot of good artistic expression was shown on this film. So Thomas, you want to give a little rundown of the film and your initial thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, I did not notice that Wig Wolf was in it. I guess 'cause, I mean, it was a little short. It was 10 minutes long, but yeah. So basically, my thought of it about it was basically like almost like a creepy pasta. Like it was entertaining and all, but like I was trying to figure out, like I didn't really understand it to a degree. Like they just kept repeating like the theme of death in it throughout the 10 minutes of colorful and artistic visions. But I'm trying to figure out whether it's one person's or it's like the death of society because he said the person died in his dreams, but then the next 5 minutes he's like he talks about the environment and trees dying around him.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty interesting film. I kind of think it has a different feel than most of Thomas's work, where it kind of starts off it's kind of has a nihilistic approach, and it's kind of darker, and not in the sense of like it's gory or creepy, but dark in just the messaging and the undertones. It's definitely a little different than most of the work he's done. I like seeing him evolve, and I like this new direction he's going in. I think it's really cool. I think it's kind of about a perspective of kind of like looking outside and seeing the world, because it seems like the character in this is almost like in a weird way, he almost feels like he's an alien in his own world. Like he's looking outside at this world that he can't identify with, and he's struggling trying to figure it out. And I think it just kind of shows like that nihilistic approach of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what this world is. And I think the fact it keeps repeating itself is kind of symbolic of just like how life and all these bad things just keep happening, and we're kind of like at the mercy of them. I don't think this film was really trying to say, here's a way to fix the problem. I think this film was just an expression of there being a problem.
Oh, so he's not literally dead. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just a metaphor. That's what I think it is. It's definitely a darker film than
It
and
gets you
than
it's very short, but it gets you to think a lot.
it kind of reminds me of Crush Cats, the very first film we reviewed by him. Remember that one? How it kind of had that like we were had a really good discussion about it because so much was going on, and we were like trying to figure out what he was trying to say with it. It reminds me a lot of Crush Cats that way. But I love the visual effects. I really like. I mean, Thomas is really good with visual effects and having it always look so cool and so mystical and all that. It's crazy. I really liked Wig Wolf's narration, so good job on that, Wig Wolf. I think you did a good job. His voice really suited the feel. It was cool hearing him collaborate with him. I think Wig Wolf kind of brings that kind of like almost a little bit of humor to it because of just how he is, but also it kind of like makes it more grounded. It makes it feel like there's someone like that's really living this experience, because visuals are one thing, but like audio and hearing it really helps a lot. So being able to hear that narration throughout the film kind of helped make sense of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely like this film. It's just, I think that's one of those films like you have to watch like 2 or 3 times before like you fully understand it. But I mean, all in all, in my opinion, it's like a quick little watch to give you like an entertainment to your day, or if you want to dig deeper into it, then it works both ways.
Yeah, it's definitely. I like it that it's short. I like shorts that are really short. I don't like people who say, "Oh, watch our short film and it's like 20 minutes." Like this is a good
Hmm.
9 minutes, very digestible. It's very interesting. I think Thomas is definitely going in a different direction with this. I remember that one scene I really like in Teenage Pregnant Clowns, which is one of his older work, where it kind of like gets crazy when he meets Mr. Tree. This film almost felt like a whole entire version of that. Instead of that little bit, let's make a whole part where it's a little darker and a little more nihilistic and a little more, dystopian. And I thought that was really cool. And of course, you have to not every time he makes a film, he has his little acoustic rendition at the end of the film where he sings a song about the film. And I thought that was really good. I actually really liked the song about that he wrote for this film. Actually, I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna mention that too. I like the little part of the end where he was like singing, he's like, "Thanks for watching" or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a
Yeah,
typical. I had a funny. There's gonna be like a typical Dimapoulos film when I saw like all the colors and him
yeah,
at the
yeah.
end.
Right. No, because I was waiting because typical Dimopoulos films, there's always an acoustic rendition at the end of the short. So I was just waiting. I was like, "Where's the acoustic song coming out?" And like that's why when I watch his films, I'm waiting for the song.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look out for that now. I have not noticed that until you pointed it
No,
out.
dude, every single one of his films, almost every single one has a acoustic rendition at the end, which I always really like. One thing that was a little different, a lot of times he plays like really old timer music from like way back in the day, probably like the 30s or 40s, and he kind of does that in his films. This film didn't have that. This film definitely felt a lot different than his other ones, but it still had his classic Dimapoulos written on it. And I love seeing that from our filmmakers that we like and look up to, like where they're able to evolve and keep moving while still maintaining their identity. Guys like Thomas, he's not trying to fit in on a trend. He's not trying to be doing what's popular. He's doing what he feels like he needs to do in his artistic evolution. So mad props to him, and you got our full support as on this new kind of more nihilistic journey of your going on with your filmmaking. I enjoy it.
So you said you think he's gonna do it this way from now on?
I don't know if he'll do it from now on. I'm sure he'll still have a little more of his classic approach, but I feel like this film was definitely a step in a more like I don't know how to describe it, more of like a darker tone. It definitely was darker, but not in the sense of like I said earlier, like a gore or like oh that's scary, but dark in the undertone. Like when you watched it and you finished watching it, you kind of felt uneasy and kind of like in a weird state, like kind of like it kind of not depressing, but kind of in like a weird, more, uncanny way. But it wasn't like an ultimate scare or anything like that. I just think he's trying to say a little bit more with his filmmaking, which I really appreciate. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that deeper thing kind of reminds me of what was Crush Cats the ice one? I don't
Yeah, yeah,
remember.
that was the
That
very
was
first
okay.
one.
So yeah, so that was because I don't remember half the titles, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Crush Cats was the very first film we ever reviewed on the channel too, which was pretty crazy. I don't know. I always remember that one. But yeah, I really liked his work since then, and I think this is a good step in the right direction. And I think I'm excited to see what he does next. And also, great job, Wig Wolf. We're also going to be reviewing Wig Wolf's film. It's called I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's called Targeted in Heaven, and I've watched a little trailer of it, and it was very interesting. I have not watched the full film yet, so that will be episode 22 next week. But Thomas, you got any quick little wrap up points before we wrap up today's review?
No, I think my final thought is just like it's kind of like Thomas's other work, where like the first time I'm sitting there, I'm kind of confused, so I have to go sit back and rewatch it. So that's my final thought on it. Like you have to watch it a couple times, but it's a good watch.
Yeah, it's definitely a good watch. And the cool thing about his filmmaking is like even if you don't understand it, it's so visually appealing and has so much going on that you're still enjoying it. And then once you finish enjoying it, you go back and like, wow, what was that trying to say? And then you watch it again. And it's smart because I mean, this is something that people would probably watch 5, 6 times over.
Hmm.
So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of the Stay at Home Sons. Be sure to check out Playful Planet by Thomas Dimopoulos, one of our good friends here at the podcast. We will link all his links in the description below. Also, check out our good friend Wig Wolf as we will be reviewing his short next week, and he did a great job in VO in this short film. But anyway, hope you all have a great day. Happy Easter Sunday. He has risen, and remember, stay at home.